200 laps for the Truck Series at Thunder Valley. The pace truck is in. It's go time.
Great start by Zillage.
Really interesting seeing how competitive that outside lane is already. We saw trucks in practice earlier today, and even a couple in qualifying go up top and try to see what was up there. I think we're going to see a lot of passing in this race, a lot of action up top.
We saw that groove widen out in that ARCA race earlier tonight. We saw some passes made from the outside.
And look at that scoring pylon. All of our playoff drivers highlighted in yellow. Heim is second. Sawalich, another non-playoff driver, in third. And then 3 playoff drivers complete the top 5. Caruth, Eckes, and Nick Sanchez.
Daniel Dye there in the bright orange, number 43, getting around Ty Dillon. Going to grab that position. Good qualifying effort for Dillon. See if he can hang in there this evening and have a solid run.
We're used to seeing playoff drivers finish up in the top 10. We had 8 of our 10 playoff drivers finish in the top 10 at Milwaukee our last time out.
7 of the top 10 in this race a year ago were playoff drivers.
There was a little asterisk there, though, at Milwaukee, wasn't there, Phil?
Yes, there was.
Lane Riggs, a non-playoff driver, was first. He won that race. Shows you how competitive this field is from front to back.
On board with Majeski. Unapproved adjustments coming from the back. He's 32nd.
Too wide in front of him. There's not much room at this racetrack for 2, much less 3.
Caden Honeycutt in that 45, he had issues in practice with some suspension pieces in that truck, so they had to change them. He's just filling his truck out. Looks pretty competitive right now, though, making moves. There he goes around Brett Hudson.
Majeski dives to the inside of that 32. Brett Holmes.
What about Honeycutt? He goes up to the top. Got one on the bottom. Let's get one on the top. Maybe 2 on the top as he goes around Spencer Boyd as well.
Matt Mills, the 42, was going to try to get by the inside, try to make it 3 wide for a moment. There's Brett Holmes, the 32, that green truck on the outside, right in front of Tom Majeski.
Majeski got trapped, lost some momentum, so he settles in line.
See, Holmes is up top, hanging on, making some good progress up there. Majeski's got to decide which way he goes. Who's going to get this spot first?
Opening stage, 55 laps. We're already 10 laps in. It goes fast when you're green at Bristol.
Majeski says, I don't mind which one of you go, just one of you go quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Adam. Getting lapped is a real possibility. He's already over nearly a half a lap down. Right at it.
He thought about making it 3 wide there for a moment.
He's got to go.
"12 laps complete in our opening stage. Zillage started on the pole. He's out front now. It's a great night for racing at the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway.
had to take a drink.
We said this in that opening segment, but we're not even halfway through the first stage, and already trucks are going a lap down. I'll tell you what, the 7 is setting a torrid pace, and that's not good for many drivers, among them Ty Majeski. Didn't qualify like he wanted to and finds himself now in the 30th position.
Yeah, Majeski right now is over 14 seconds behind our leader, and they're lapping this racetrack at just over 16 seconds, which means he's only a couple seconds in front of our leader as he moves in on the 91 of Jack Wood.
They're on the same straightaway, Phil. Look in the mirror and you're going to see there comes Zilich right there as he laps another truck. And this is what happened to Majeski while we were at break. Check this out, trying to go high around Brett Holmes. We talked about how he's holding him up. He goes really high and just loses grip the slightest bit and into the wall.
Yeah, got in the marbles there a little bit. That laid off the corner, and unfortunately he realized that and slowed down before he made very significant contact.
Yeah, guys, the 98 has gone from a bad situation to worse really here. Ty said they unloaded and they just missed it completely, and he just didn't really know why it was so bad, and they just have been struggling since practice. He just touched a wall, as we saw, and he's worried about going down a lap down. So we'll see if Ty in the 98 can flip the strategy and get towards the front.
Well, the good news for Ty, even though they weren't where they wanted to be during practice, had to drop to the rear at the start of this race, and all the adversities they face, he came in. Oh, look at this. Raja Karuth putting the bumper to William Sawalich. That's for third on track.
That's because there was a gap in front of William Sawalich. Our front two trucks have driven out about almost 2 seconds over that battle, and it was time for Raja. So they got to go.
Yeah, and that's what you'll get too. If you look ahead of you and there's a gap, you can expect a bump. If you can't get that move done cleanly, you're going to shove someone out of the way.
Eckes next in line, Sanchez behind him, and everyone's starting to move around, trying to find the speed on this racetrack. We saw it from Eckes, we saw it from Heim.
I like what you said there, Adam. This is what Bristol's all about. Wanting to be able to run high, run low, make passes, and then if you can't make it, shove somebody out of the way like we've seen earlier.
Back to the Majeski deal, though. He comes in with a 44-point advantage over the cut line. They had a mulligan. He might have to use it tonight. You just don't want to create more damage than is already there. And he is now settled in and starting to make up some ground, getting around some trucks in front of him up to 27.
Adam, let's don't count him out as we see a good battle for fifth between Eckes and Sanchez. Remember, they were side by side for lap after lap after lap in front of Majeski. Once that cleared out, he's been able to pass some trucks, and he's still the same gap to the leader that he was 10, 15 laps ago.
How about Eckes, Amanda?
Adam, potentially a big update for the 19. They were worried about the balance of this truck after qualifying. Eckes on the radio just now said, hey guys, I've got no brakes, but said that the balance is good. You'll go back to Atlanta earlier in the year. We're not sure how bad this situation is just yet, but we'll continue to assess it. And you have to imagine with these pit stops coming up, the 19 and team are taking through all options.
Out in front of the 19, the race for the lead is on. Zilich has it in lap traffic, and right on his back bumper, the 11 of Corey Heim.
Lap traffic lies ahead. Heim has used that option to try out the top side of the track. Haven't seen Zilich up there yet, Phil, so he's going to have to make some moves. It might be interesting to see if he can get up top and have speed.
As we go to break, we'll keep you side by side. Zilich in front of Heim. We're over halfway through the opening stage. glad we were side by side. You missed nothing. New leader at Bristol, Corey Heim, gets around Connor Zilich. And now knocking on the door, his teammate Raja Caruth wants that runner-up spot. All of this happening in a gaggle of lap traffic.
This is intense. The only thing you missed at break was me screaming, because I thought we were going to have one of those guys leading this race turned around. Heim really aggressive against Zilich. You can see Raja, a very fast number 71 Chevy. Talked about Zilich going high and seeing what it was like. I think he just realized that he didn't quite have the grip he thought he would up there, and Corey was able to complete the pass.
And we also saw a big gaggle of trucks back there where Majeski was. Grant Enfinger, another one of our playoff drivers, was back there as well.
Now Enfinger has dropped outside the top 20. Majeski trying to get inside the top 20. 98 is up to 22nd.
Raja's going to grab that second spot, it looks like, in traffic.
Or is he? It's tight.
We were worried about Majeski going a lap down. Now I've got my eyes on Enfinger. There are only 6 laps to go in the stage. I think he'll be fine. There's some trucks between he and our leader, Corey Heim, but man, it's been a struggle back there in that traffic you talked about.
Raja using Keith McGee as a pick, drives to the inside, and the 71 is now second in front of Connor Zilich.
There's definitely some grip up there, though. We've seen some trucks make some good moves here. You see Lane Riggs, the 38, is closed in on this battle. Stuart Friesen's in there as well in that blue number 52.
Oh, they're going to squeeze Keith.
Eckes to the outside, Friesen to the inside, and look at Lane Riggs.
He jumped the cushion there for just a moment.
He found some grip, though, didn't he? He had that gas wide open, but it slipped out from underneath him.
Look at Raja Caruth. He said second's not good enough for me. To the outside of Heim. This is for the race lead with 3 to go in stage 1.
How about Raja comes in here below the cut line? How about 10 points possibly at the end of this stage?
And a playoff point if he's able to advance to set himself up for the future.
Look at this.
Corey Heim has his nose there. Raja does a nice job giving him just enough room.
And look in 4th position.
Look
And
at 5th.
So Wallace has joined this battle in that one truck, but then up high goes Eckes. He's going to make that pass it together with a lap truck.
Eckes right down the boulevard. The 19 trying to get a spot.
We saw him do that in the spring to Kyle Busch in that 7 truck.
Final lap, stage 1, and it has been a thriller. And it's going to be Raja Caruth who's able to pick up his first career stage win. And he earned it.
And what a time to get it. Holy cow, let's take a deep breath, Adam.
Heim second, Eckes third, Zilich ended up 4th. An outstanding start to the race at Bristol. Really good for this guy, Raja Caruth. Stage one complete for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here at Bristol. Raja Caruth gets the win, and he's on pit road making a stop on the back straightaway. We pit front and back straightaway here at Bristol. He comes off turn 2, and he's getting his service.
Tidy little stop there, too. Nice entry into the pit. No blocking. He'll be fast on the way out. Looks like a solid pit stop there, Amanda. What's happening on your end?
Overlooking on Connor Zillage right now. He's saying to the team that he's loose on corners, and it's been hard for him to make up time. Then moving on to the 19 of Christian Eckes. He was saying that in terms of the brakes, if they're hot and then they come and go, they're still going to assess that situation. And moving on to Nick Sanchez, they've had a little freeness in the balance, but the biggest issue is they're tight through the corners. Mamba?
We're looking at the one of Williams Wallace right now, putting in a really good run with that Toyota. He's been a little tight through the center, looking for a little bit more rotation. They're going to try and get him adjustment to get him what he needs. Ahead of him, Corey Heim. He has had a phenomenal race. Like I said earlier, it's time. He's looking for another win this evening. His initial brake pressure is where his loose end is, so they're going to do some air pressure adjustment to try and help him out with that. Adam?
I've got good pit work there, Mamba. Wins the race off pit road. +5 for Sawalich. Caruth comes in the leader. He falls to 3rd. Restart for stage 2 when we return to Bristol. It's been good so far. Bristol's got quite a reputation, and it's living up to it tonight. It's the Craftsman Truck Series live on FS1, race 2 in the playoffs here in 2024. With Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip, I'm Adam Alexander. Let's check out those stage 1 results and all those points that come along with those finishing positions.
Yeah, you see 5 of our playoff drivers got stage points. That means 5 did it. But this was what was crazy, Adam. We lost our breath trying to cover what all this cat was doing. Right into the back of William Sawalich. That's not enough. He says, I got to get you sideways and get to the outside. Look at this action.
It's by Sanchez and one as well. Now he's going to drive through the middle of a lap truck and Zillage.
Mason Maggio already a lap down in the 21 said, what? was that?
What about this? What is this? Timmy Hill stays out on those older tires. This is going to cause chaos. There's no way he can match the pace of these fast trucks, and we see they're not shy about going 3 wide. Watch for a 3 wide play down into turn 1.
Yeah, watch it at number 1 with Christian Eckes in the 19. We saw him just a moment ago before that break go wide, 3 wide.
Timmy Hill stays out, so he hasn't pitted. He'll be the race leader. There were a number of drivers that didn't pit, took the wave around. Brett Holmes got the free pass. He was the first truck 1 lap down. He will return to the lead lap. Stage 2, off we go once again at Bristol.
Eckes has room on the bottom. He has room to get down. He takes it.
Looked like he thought about sticking it 3 wide off turn 2, but thought better of it, just making the conventional pass around Timmy Hill. You know, Hill had good pace. He held off Majeski the last 10, 12 laps of that first stage, so he's got good pace. It'll be interesting for these other teams to see how he fares on these older tires versus the competition.
And he finished ahead of Grant Enfinger in that stage as well.
By the way, Majeski on board here up to 16th. About to be in the top 15 after starting in the back, and we were concerned about him going a lap down. No need to be concerned about the 98 right now. Looks good.
I think the competitors may need to be concerned about the 98.
We've seen this story before, haven't we? A guy coming from the back. Kyle Majeski does it as good as anyone.
Look at all over the racetrack. 3 wide up ahead. Lane Riggs, the outside. 38 for a moment, made it 3 wide.
Lane Riggs with a really good first stage. Our most recent winner has worked his way to the top 5 in the 38.
Daniel Dye right behind Tanner Gray. They're battling for a spot. Are they 3 wide?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's fun to say at Bristol, isn't it? 3 wide?
It's more fun to say.
Oh, a scrub there, but he kept it.
Kept going, kept in the
his foot in
throttle.
it. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Oh, squeeze play.
9 of Grant Enfinger bouncing around in front of Connor Jones. We got some smoke there.
Connor Jones has tire rub on that left front after that contact.
Driving that 66 for ThorSport.
Gotta keep an eye on that. Sometimes they clearance themselves, sometimes they don't.
Right behind him is teammate Ben Rhodes, the reigning champ.
That has every look that it won't clearance itself, Phil. He'll lose a tire possibly. A lot of smoke. I like moving up high. Maybe that'll help calm it down a little bit. Then it's not as far to go if it blows out and hit the wall.
You got to be cautious racing around in 41, Connor Mozak.
That's a shame. He just got squeezed.
He's keeping it right up against the wall. Of course, there's grip and speed up there against the wall as well. It's continuing to smoke.
Drivers racing for right around 18th on track. Just behind them, 81, Corey Day making his debut. Dirt sensation, done so many great things in a sprint car. 18 years old from California, and he's looked impressive here today, Amanda.
Yeah, Adam, you want to know some of that sprint car history. He snuck in during qualifying when he had that epic save there during his venture, but he had to sneak over to the ARCA race after that. I did talk to the team, and they relayed that he is hydrated and ready for this race ahead. But man, there is so much support coming from Kyle Larson. The team has the Kyle Larson pit box that he is using here this weekend. And I know we've said the quote many, many times, but in case this audience has not heard it, Kyle Larson said himself that this kid is better than I was at this age, Adam.
And if you look at what he did today, 7th in that ARCA race, he was able to stay out of trouble there, and he set his goal coming into the day. Log all 400 laps, 200 ARCA, 200 in truck. So far, so good for the 81.
There's not very many people that you would ever say was as good as Kyle Larson was at any age.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's a pretty big compliment from Cup champ Larson. Looking to stretch it out a little bit. I think that's the biggest lead we've seen all night long. Front 3 settled in. Raja came off pit road 3rd. He's running 2nd.
You have to believe that Eckes was talking about a brake issue or whatever. I don't think you can maintain this pace if your brakes aren't working like you need them to.
Things have settled down for a bit here at Bristol.
Let's take a break. What do you say, Adam?
Let's take a breath and take a break. Corey Heim leading. We've reached the middle stage of our 2nd stint of the race. Right at 20 laps to go for the Craftsman Truck Series at Bristol in our second stage of the night. Corey Heim is the race leader. An eventful first stage, but things have calmed in stage 2. Raja Karuth, who got his first career stage win in stage 1 tonight, second. And Christian Eckes, who put on a show to end that first 55-lap run, is third. And just behind them, a couple of young hot shoes who have been impressive. Connor Zilic, the 18-year-old, is fourth after starting on the pole, leading a bunch of laps early. And Lane Riggs, our most recent winner, also inside the top 5.
Nick Sanchez with some good speed as well in that 2 truck. He's approaching a spot in that top 5.
Yeah, top 5 finish in that first stage for Sanchez.
Came in 34 points above the cut line. You know, their regular season didn't end great, but he turned it up and was outstanding at Milwaukee to create that cushion, and he comes in here with some breathing room. And oh, by the way, making headlines off track this week, Sanchez announcing in 2025 he'll go full-time in the Xfinity Series, driving that 48 car next year for Big Machine.
Yeah, that'll be a good combination. Actually has a little bit of experience in that car a couple years ago when they didn't have a full-time driver. So he and Patrick Donahue have some experience working together. It's going to be a good combination, I think.
Let's get some updates from pit road and start with Mamba.
We're talking about the number 43 of Daniel Dye. Daniels told me earlier today, this is not his favorite racetrack. He put in a lot of preparation to get better here. I asked him what he did. He said he worked a lot with Christian Eckes and on his footwork, and he found something in practice. Well, it seems to be working. He's doing a good job running 12th, but has top 5 speed right now as they run. Amanda?
Mama, but your reigning champ Ben Rhodes started this race in the 23rd position. He's only currently running in the 21st position. It's going to be a struggle of a night for Ben Rhodes. I talked to him after qualifying, and he just said this came out of the hauler wrong. They're just going to have to salvage what can be done. He said that the adjustments needed, they're simply not permitted while at track.
It's way too early to start talking about must-wins and all of that, but for Ben Rhodes, who came into tonight below the cut line and appears to be in a position where he's not going to get any stage points, he's going to have some work to do next Friday night at Kansas in the elimination race to see who moves on to the round of 8.
You know, and that's really odd, too, because this is the same tire these guys have run here for a while. Again, same racetrack. As we see a battle for the lead, Raja going to try to get this second stage as well with about 10 to go.
Michael, you said during practice earlier today, you got to be good on the long haul at Bristol. Raja, about this point in that first stage, was able to turn it up, and here he is again.
That thing looked like it's just hooked down on the bottom of the racetrack, and if I had my choice of where to be strong, I would pick the bottom. The top's a little risky. We've seen a couple guys slip up there and get into the wall. Right down on the bottom, using that yellow line, that's how you get your truck pointed in the right direction.
And did you notice that Corey Heim gave him room around that lap truck? He could have pinched him in behind that lap truck, and he gave him room. And he's doing the same thing right here.
Look who's coming, though, again.
I thought Raja was going to get the lead. He might be third because Christian Eckes is working the outside lane, 19 up to the runner-up spot.
Would you call that an opportunist, possibly?
Yes. And a little less aggressive right now than he was there at the end of stage 1, 8 laps to go.
You know, the spotter for Corey Heim says the 19 really likes the top. Watch your mirror. See if you can do anything up there. Corey's going to put a lap. Is that Ben?
Ben Rhodes in the 99. Wow. Indeed it is.
Darn.
7 to go before the end of the stage. We'll see if Corey Heim gets another truck a lap down, so Ben Rhodes would be taken out of the free pass position.
You know, Ankrum not too far in front of them, although I think he's safe with only coming to 5 to go here.
I think Matt Mills is the next guy.
Yeah, and he's going to be, they're closing on Matt Mills. It's going to be close. Battle for 5th.
Sanchez in the 2, the 7 is Connor Zilic. Racing around the lap truck, that's Lawless Allen.
As Sanchez knows, that's a point right there sitting in front of him. Again, pretty comfortable in the points, but every point counts. How about Eckes and Raja side by side?
Raja on the bottom. I think he's better than Eckes. He just got mixed up in that lap traffic. We'll see how this sorts out. There's Mills, as you see, just ahead of our leader, Corey Heim. He's the next truck to go a lap down.
3 to go, and as Eckes tries to get second away from Raja, Eckes rallied to third there at the end of stage 1. He's been top 3 in every stage since Charlotte Memorial Day weekend. The 19 fast each and every week. 2 to go.
See, pit road's closed there. That's a procedure. And these guys are battling out. And Corey Heim's liking what he's seeing in his mirror. Y'all worry with each other. I got stuff to do up here.
Yeah,
but here they come.
I think Matt Mills is going to be,
Final lap, stage 2, caution is out, and that will end the stage. And it's for Connor Zilic, who was running inside the top 5.
Can he get it fired up and on his way? Oh, that's a tough angle.
I thought that thing rolled back down on the flat.
Back her down and turn left.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you got a chance. Straighten the wheel out there. There you go.
Heim will come around and collect his 7th stage win of 2024. Eckes ends up 2nd. Raja was 3rd. Lane Riggs 4th. And Sanchez ends up inside the top 5. Other drivers scoring points: Friesen, Sowalic, Crafton, Dean Thompson, and Chase Purdy. All the other playoff drivers missing out, finishing outside the top 10 in stage 2. Will they pit? Find out when we come back. Two stages down, 1 to go at Bristol for the Craftsman Truck Series. And the question becomes, what do you do in regard to pit road? Do you stay out? Do you come? And it's going to be a mixed bag. Nick Sanchez says, I'm going to make a pit stop.
I just didn't see the fall off, and I was really impressed with Timmy Hill hanging into a top 15 position. I know those crew chiefs and spotters noticed that. We're not going to see much action here. This is interesting. We thought without the resin on the racetrack that the times would fall off and the tires would wear, Amanda, but we haven't seen a whole lot of that. But you got to take her down there.
As you see Nick Sanchez make his way over to pit lane. It was funny, I was listening to Bono Mannion on just what we're seeing on track today, and he said that 38 truck of Lane Riggs is what Nick needs to keep his eye on. But Nick said that this truck was way better than it was in the first run. Guys?
He was the only playoff driver to come down pit road, Nick Sanchez. And I guess in a way, You know, we talk so much about how to play strategy. They come in 34 points above the cut line. They got some more points, built a little more of an insurance policy by getting those stage points in stage 1. Maybe the thought process is here, let's get out of balance with everybody else and see if we can make it work.
Yeah, see if we can beat them.
Right.
Maybe we can do something different to beat them.
I like that. Corey Heim leads, and he'll be out front for the restart when we begin the final stage next. Just about ready to go with the final stage here at Bristol for the Craftsman Truck Series. And we had hit the final lap of stage 2 when the caution came out for incident on track. It was Connor Zilich and Nick Sanchez.
They were diving into turn 3. Phil's going to highlight the trucks involved here.
Those
Nick
are the two
Sanchez
trucks right there.
Behind Zilich and gets into him into the corner. And look at this. Amazing that he didn't collect that outside wall and tear his truck up. Just slid up high, kept on sliding, and both of them continued on their way.
Yeah, and that's the most vulnerable you are, is entering the corner.
That's crazy.
Zilich was sitting in that awkward position on the banking, couldn't get it completely turned around, so he did lose a lap there, being scored down in the 29th position.
And Sanchez took credit for this accident. Let's see what Nick Sanchez has to say here.
Not an excuse or anything, but just tell him I'm sorry. 10-4, man. We will. It's all good.
Sanchez pitted, but he's being scored in the 16th position with tires here. That may prove to be big. As I said going to break, he was the only playoff driver that elected to come down pit road.
Yeah, and he's the lead truck that came down pit road. 15 trucks in front of him all stayed on the racetrack.
Zilich, I mentioned a lap down Ben Rhodes. Our defending champ playoff driver is a lap down. Lawless Allen got the free pass on this, our second caution of the night.
Yeah, and that will not put Sanchez at a tire disadvantage later in the race either, because he still has yet another set of tires in the pits. So it'll be interesting to see. And every one of those 15 crew chiefs that's in front of him will be watching what that 2 truck does on these new tires.
It's Bristol, baby.
Heim wins stage 2. Takes the outside lane for the restart. To his left, Christian Eckes. They've combined to win 3 of the 5 short track races so far in 2024. And just behind Eckes, 71, Raja Caruth.
Frame of reference right now, we're 27 points in the playoffs, right? So let's just cap off a good night here. No chances.
At 10-4, I've been paying attention to it.
Well, I just let you know.
Pretty good for a guy that came in -4.
Look at that outside launch for Heim. Christian didn't get a very good start down on the bottom.
Lane Riggs did, though.
Yes, he did.
Say, outside lane for Lane Riggs. He's getting after it. He wants a piece of that lead. Look at the 38.
I'm not sure Corey Heim isn't just going to let him have it.
Might have surprised him a bit the way he jumped up there and made that work.
Actually, I think Lane Riggs is letting them all have it. Man that won at Milwaukee took over in the final stage. Lane Riggs has got the top spot again, happening tonight at Bristol.
Right behind him, Eckes, and look who's creeping into the picture. Our boy Stuart Friesen with a nice run here tonight in Bristol.
Who had him on the bingo card for this race?
Been a bit of a struggle for that team, but he's racing outside of Raja there, doing a nice job in that 52.
Yeah, and Sawalich behind that battle as well. Sawalich is stuck in there in the top 10 this race.
What a competitive race it's been, Adam.
Yeah, already 8 lead changes. The record here at Bristol is 9. And you may say that number's not big, but, well, a race 200, maybe 250 laps here is the longest we've gone.
But it's just crazy how fast and clean the action is. We see 3 wide, we see bumping and banging. We haven't seen many wrecks, but as you watch a truck race, and if you're a truck fan, you know that the most action is ahead. They're going to just keep getting more and more aggressive as we race toward that checker.
Yeah, the intensity is going to ratchet up as we get towards the end of this race when finishing positions are on the line.
Here's the other thing to watch. How do these trucks handle over the long haul? Because we saw that Raja was really good late, stage 1 and stage 2, but we've had a heat cycle here, and that could change everything in the way these trucks react over the course of the remainder of this race.
You know, those trucks that did not stop, had 60 laps or on their tires, have still got dipped down back below 16 flat, which is about as fast as we saw after they put tires on. So I don't see there's much fall off in lap times.
Sanchez got the tires. He's gone from 16th to 14th. Back behind him, the 9 of Grant Enfinger. It's been a struggle tonight, Amanda.
Yeah, especially when you look at other people that have had such a good night. Raja Caruth popping him up into that round of 8. Grant Enfinger currently below running in that number, but just can't get that truck exactly where he wants it. They have made some adjustments, but just kind of a struggle here tonight at Bristol.
That's a struggle.
You know, and it's all landing. It's not turning off the wall, it's landing. And then I think of a tightness. I can't really help it with the throttle anymore. But then once I get back to the throttle after the center, then I'm pretty decent.
I'd say he's the biggest surprise in the playoffs so far.
Well, it's getting late now. You know, it's hard to rally. We see Tyler Ankrum. He was outside the top 20. Now he's inside the top 15. He's starting to make some ground forward. But I haven't seen a whole lot out of Grant that makes me think that they've improved that truck. Talked about a lot of issues with the handling of it. Broke it down really well for the team. Getting late now, though.
He went from just above the cut line to 12 out. Race for second is on. Lane Riggs leading. Heim and Eckes doing battle behind him. Just under 70 laps to go. 59 laps to go for the trucks here at Bristol, and the race for third is on. Raja Caruth once again late in a run, putting things together, and he's got the number on Christian Eckes down to the inside.
I think that will bode well for him, because obviously this third stage a little longer run than our first 2 stages.
That's why I would keep my eye on Nick Sanchez as well with those fresher tires. Will that pay off as we race late into this show?
Yeah, as you can see, Sanchez now has moved his way into the top 10.
I will say, though,
Raja gets that spot.
Raja now up to third. Eckes falls to fourth. And there's Sanchez. He was up to ninth, but fell back to 10th. He just can't make quick work of Dean Thompson. Credit to the 5, but it's also allowing those leaders to continue to build the gap on that 2, which is going to make it difficult. We don't get another caution. There he is around the 5, moved Sanchez up to 9th.
Yeah, Sanchez was 5th when the stage ended. Came down pit road, gave up that spot. We'll see how far he gets back here.
This is a fun race, you know. So that different strategy right there is just another aspect that's making this thing so interesting.
In the pylon, you see who's got the fastest trucks. Best last time around, Raja Caruth. Riggs out front was second quick. We're on board with Ty Majeski coming from the back and knocking on the door of the top 10.
How about Sawalich, the quickest truck that lap?
He was really quick at the end of the second stage too. Came up there to battle for the stage win.
Hey, he's had a great day. Wins the ARCA race, picks up a championship, qualifies up front here for the trucks, and stayed in the top 10 all night long, looking for his first top 10 finish of the year.
How about the leader
Truck Series?
Leader, the mess he's come upon here. Wow, look at all this traffic.
You know, it's crazy, but you just feel like he grew up so much when he won that race at Milwaukee, and the maturity showing off as he works through lap traffic. Among them, defending champion playoff driver Ben Rhodes, and the 33 is Lawless Allen.
Just making quick work of those 2 trucks.
It's amazing. I'm watching the lap times of the trucks that are in danger of going a lap down, and they're running within 1/10 of a second or so of what our leader is. But that clean racetrack has really done wonders for him.
Look at Riggs. First 22 races of his career, he led 6 laps. The last 2 races, he's led 84 and counting. You know, such a great story. Second generation driver. His dad Scott meant so much to the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, raced at the Cup level, and really had a nice career. Lane comes along. It took him some time to get his footing in the Truck Series, but I'll tell you what, he hadn't gone away. They put some nice things together at the end of the regular season. He was a playoff spoiler in race 1 at Milwaukee, and he's doing it again tonight here at Bristol.
Looking at the scoring monitor, Jack Wood running in 17th was the quickest truck that last lap. That's how competitive these trucks are.
Raja had it step out on him there, as you see Majeski working on the inside of both Dean Thompson and Chase Purdy. See if he can get around this duo.
You know, Majeski trying to get back inside the top 10 or get to the top 10 for the first time tonight. Even if he does, that would only be 5 playoff drivers in the top 10. Very surprising when you think about the way they performed here tonight.
Yeah, normally we have 7 or 8 playoff drivers finish in the top 10 of these playoff races. We had 8 in Milwaukee, our first race.
I think this 98 truck is solid, Adam. He's just stuck back there in that traffic.
But he's not as good as the 38. Caution is out for, we'll see what brings out the yellow flag. It's the 45 of Caden Honeycutt.
Serious damage to that 45.
Yeah, he had made his way up inside the top 15. Remember, that truck didn't even make a qualifying attempt. Had to change a left rear trailing arm, started at the back, and moved his way into the top 15, but good bit of damage to that 45 truck now.
Yellow number 3, 43 laps to go. Sanchez has worked his way from 16th to 8th on those tires. Is there any thought here about making a pit stop? I would say no.
No.
Okay.
No.
25 trucks on the lead lap. So
yeah,
I would say no way.
Trucks towards the back of the lead lap, yes. But any of those trucks up right now in the top 10, I say absolutely not. But Daniel died.
Daniel died.
This is obviously early. Maybe there was some contact with Daniel. You see the right rear tires down.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel.
Oh, wow.
got sideways and spun, may have cut that left rear tire down in turn 4, and then Caden Honeycutt came along with nowhere to go.
That's a flat tire.
That's a flat tire right there. He's doing his best to try to keep it straight. Unfortunately, Caden Honeycutt is what he needed to get it straight.
Yeah, and I wonder about that left front damage. That was heavy contact to the left front. Wonder if that left front tire and wheel are still pointing in the proper direction.
Well, that's a real tough situation for Dye, who's 40 laps away from finishing the deal. He's going to exit Bristol in a really good points position and take a big hit here because of this.
Yeah, he'll report to his team where his steering wheel is. If his steering wheel's still straight, Michael, I think he might be okay.
Going to be inside of 40 laps to go when we get the restart. Lane, Riggs out front of Heim, Carruth, and Eckes at Bristol. Sunday, it's an NFL doubleheader on Fox as Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against the Saints or other regional action. Then in America's Game of the Week, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens take on Dak and the Cowboys. Check local listings for the game in your area on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
There's the game in Phil's area with the circle around it.
Lions and the Cardinals.
I'd be a little wary of those Cardinals, Phil.
It's not. Yeah, we don't take anybody for granted. Obviously, as of last Sunday, when Tampa Bay took care of the Lions.
You're watching the Craftsman Truck Series at Bristol, race 2 in the opening round of the playoffs. If a playoff driver wins tonight, they automatically move on to the round of 8. But at this stage of the game, I won't hold my breath because we have a playoff spoiler once again. And again, his name is Lane Riggs.
It's the same guy. Friesen, I'm telling you, Friesen's been impressive. We talked about him a little bit up into the top 5 as well. So it's going to be fun these last 30-some laps.
Guys, see there on the back of Christian Eckes' truck, Tony Wilson. Sky Fargo's his nickname, and he's battling cancer, a prominent part of the Napa family. And Bill McAnally texted me and said, I'd love for you to give Tony a shout out. TW, and we're thinking about you, buddy, and hopefully Christian can drive this truck to victory lane. Bill's such a great part of this sport. I mean, there's so many fun characters and great owners down in that garage area. And Bill's certainly a mainstay down there, and it's really cool that that he's turned this team in such a powerhouse. I mean, they've got trucks running up front every week.
Unbelievable what they've done. 3 full-time trucks, all their drivers participating into playoffs, the victories they've experienced. It's been quite impressive. Expanded the fleet and enjoying some really good results.
You know, a lot of times you see that, Adam, and, you know, there's a lull in the performance. You got to get used to what you got. But, man, they just get better every time they add a truck.
Yeah, our top 5 runners right now, all 5 from different organizations. How about that parity?
Well, I go back to what Christian Eckes told us at Media Day for the Truck Series in the playoff run, and that is that they gained a lot of knowledge early in the season when Zane Smith, a champion, came over and raced with him. Cup driver now, but he came back to the trucks for a few races, and his knowledge and what he shared with the team allowed them to grow, and probably a good portion of the reason why Eckes has enjoyed so much success. 3 wins, comes in the championship leader, and no doubt one of the favorites to get to Phoenix and run for the title.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the guy that brought this caution out, Daniel Dye, also during that same media availability, said how much Christian Eckes had helped him personally. Really felt like he was an unbelievable teammate, and boy, unfortunately for him, that flat tire. But what a great job he's done this year.
Yeah, and we haven't got to look at that left front tire yet area, but that was heavy contact. You saw how bad Caden's truck was torn up. And so you got to think maybe there was some damage there, and there is the damage. Just don't know if there was suspension damage. We can't tell that at this point.
Yeah, he came to pit road, and now he is being shown 1 lap down. So obviously we saw him come to pit road, and that was before pit road opened. It hasn't opened yet because the entrance to pit road is blocked. So he will have to restart from the tail end of the longest line, and apparently those repairs took him a lap.
Getting a report from Daniel Dye's pit that there might be a bit of a toe issue, which you mentioned it, Phil. His steering wheel might not be exactly at 12 o'clock where he had it before, but he doesn't feel like it's a huge problem. We'll see.
You mentioned Phil, he's 1 lap down. Scored in 28th is Daniel Dye. Connor Mozak 24th. First truck 1 lap down when the caution came out. He'll get the free pass.
And you know, this is the way this game works. There's guys like Lane Riggs, like Corey Heim. They've got their tires up on pit wall. They're going to have to make everybody say whether we're coming or not. This is a part of the game. We're going to open the pits. We don't think the leaders will pit.
We think the trucks towards the tail end of the lead lap will pit. They really don't have anything to lose and may have something to gain. But I just do not, as hard as it is a pass here, I just do not see these guys running up front coming back to pit road. They didn't do it in this race last year either.
Well, we've had an extended caution, which means even less laps to make something out of those tires if you came to pit road. So I agree with you. You see Ben Rhodes coming down, but he was a lap down, so not a big surprise there.
Looks like Grant Enfinger is coming down pit road.
You know, he was top 15.
Yep. Tanner Gray, Ty Dillon, Stephen Parsons all coming down pit road. Again, the trucks towards the back of the lead lap.
Last we checked our leaderboard, Enfinger had fallen to 12 below the cut line.
You've seen the adjustment there in the right rear suspension of that 9 truck. They did what the teams call, we're going to put a wrench in it. A lot of times they just adjust with air pressure, and when they have to adjust the chassis with a wedge wrench, that's more of a major change. See some damage on the left front there of Tanner Gray's truck, or right front, excuse me.
Been a quiet night for him, but wanted to highlight the fact that entering tonight's race, the model of consistency, completed every lap this season but 2. So they've done a really good job of growing their program as Tanner Gray and that 15 bunch under the Tricon Garage umbrella.
They put a wrench in that one too, Michael.
That's right.
Going to be inside of 30 laps to go when we return to the green flag. Big NASCAR weekend here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Elimination race for the Cup cars on Saturday. Regular season wraps up tomorrow night for Xfinity teams, and tonight race 2 for the CRAFTSMAN Truck Series and their run to a championship. We put the leaderboard in the pylon. Huge advantage for Eckes, Heim, Sanchez, but down around the cut, like it always does, it gets really, really tight.
Yeah, you see Anchorman 7th, 18 points above. Then Grant Enfinger 1 above. Daniel Dye 1 below. Ben Rhodes right now is bringing up the rear, but only 12 points behind. And again, Ben Rhodes, unfortunately, finds himself 2 laps down, so unless we have a major catastrophe, he's probably not going to change his finishing position much.
Well, don't count out major catastrophe.
Yes,
I talked about how it gets just more and more intense as the race clicks along. We're getting ready to see a restart here within inside of 30 laps to go. Pushing and shoving will ramp up.
It's been fairly tame so far.
Been a lot of action.
Yes.
But a lot of respectable action.
Absolutely.
They tend to lose respect in the late going.
The string breaks between their foot and their brain.
Ah, yeah,
You know
I
what
remember
mean?
that string.
Yeah.
Only 3 cautions so far tonight. One of those ending stage 1. Will it be clean from here? We're about to find out. 29 to go. When the green flag goes in the air, Lane Riggs with a jump in that outside lane.
Nice start by Corey Heim.
Oh, he's sideways. Nice
Heim
save.
hangs on to it, but Riggs able to grab the top spot. And Raja is there. So is Eckes, and Stewart Friesen making a move.
And he's sideways.
What about Matt Crafton, the veteran? Wants some of that action.
Matt Crafton said, I may not be in the playoffs, but don't count me out for a good finish.
Friesen and Crafton have combined for 3 runner-up finishes here. You know they would love to win at Bristol.
And right behind Crafton, there's Sanchez. He's got those fresher tires.
Where you have people on the bottom and you have people on the top.
Look at that run Eckes got on the bottom. Can he slide job? Yes.
He does. Now is Raja gonna do the crossover? Yes, he is.
These guys are on top of their game, aren't they?
They sure are.
You see them week in, week out. Just doing amazing things behind the wheels of these trucks.
We talk about the sophomores and the job they've done, the Sanchez, the Raja, the Daniel Dye. How about the freshman, Lane Riggs, out front?
You know, you talk about those second-year drivers, and back there in 10th, Taylor Gray is having a late rally. We check in on the leader. Here's Amanda.
Just prior to the caution, Lane Riggs came over his radio. He said, I love this sport. I love this team. We got to love the passion that just oozes out of this man. He talks about getting that first win off of his shoulders, pun intended. Earlier today, Lane Riggs closing in on perhaps his 2nd career win in the CRAFTSMAN Truck Series. Bubba?
Corey Heim in the 11, he's doing what he has done all year long, which is run up front. The team has told him, don't worry about the 38. He really punished his tires in the early part of that run. Corey's trying to stay smart. He would love to win here at Bristol again, but it's about the bigger picture and moving on to the next round. Adam?
A consistent performance for Heim. Average running position tonight, 1.6. As Daniel Dye has made his way back to pit road. We've hit our CRAFTSMAN 20 to go.
Yeah, I had to extended time on pit road, over 5 laps down now for Daniel Dye. These lap times now, these guys with 120 laps on their tires are below 16 flat again.
We're going to take a break. We'll keep you side by side. Riggs leading Heim, Eckes, Carruth, and Crafton, and we have a caution. We'll keep it right here. Jack Wood in the 91 brings out our 4th yellow of the night. You guys predicted it. We won't be green from here when we got the restart.
When Adam mentioned whether we would stay green, Michael and I both were shaking our head no. Jack had a nice run going, staying on the lead lap. He was running up inside the top 20. So it might have been a little help. Did he get a little help there from possibly Ben Rhodes in the 99? He was the closest truck to Jack Wood in that Mongoose Chevrolet.
Rarely do you just spin at that point of the racetrack, so you have to think maybe a bit of a bump, maybe like we saw earlier with Sanchez.
Connor Mozak gets the free pass.
See Ben's go.
There was a little bump.
Yeah. Boy, nice job Jack does.
Yeah, kept off the brakes, you know, kept the thing rolling. That's just driving it when it's out of control. Don't give up. You don't ever give up till you hit the wall and then you hang on.
Make it Connor Zilic who gets back on the lead lap.
It was Connor.
Yeah,
it was Connor.
Well, we got 3 of them in the race tonight. You know what I mean? But that's big that he gets an opportunity to make up some positions late in this race. Tomorrow, 8 Eastern time on Fox. It's a little Friday night action. On Fox, he is the second coming of Patrick Mahomes. Freshman phenom Dylan Raiola leads 22nd ranked Nebraska against number 24 Illinois. That's tomorrow night, 8 Eastern time on Fox.
It's great to see Nebraska with a good team again. It seems like it's been a while since Nebraska has been really strong in college football.
Was it back in the Barry Switzer days?
Tom Osborne, maybe. I don't think Barry Switzer was. It might have been his days. He wasn't there, but
I think it was his days.
It was his days, yeah.
Is that like when you said that Darryl won at Bristol 5 times in a row? We said, well, he did, but he actually also won 2 more, so make it 7.
Yeah,
very similar.
After those 5.
That's right.
There's a lot into that statement I just made. I do love college football. This time of year is great, isn't it? Kentucky gave Georgia a good battle the other Saturday.
A real good battle.
Yeah, I thought they had that. Oh, and there was a good football game at the Coliseum.
Tennessee and Virginia Tech did battle right here. Going to have Major League Baseball at the last great Coliseum next August. What's up, Mamba?
I'm here with Scott Zipadelli. Scott, you guys have had a great truck all night. What have you been talking to Corey about to keep this thing up front?
Really, it's coming down to restart prep. You know, prepping your tires and getting a good launch. Hopefully, the 38 will make a little bit of a mistake and give us a clean bottom, and we can get in front of them. But it's all going to come down to a good restart, really.
Thanks, Scott. Amanda?
Lane Riggs just said over the radio to his team and crew chief, this is the best truck I have ever had, Dylan, as the crew chief and for this team. How satisfying is that to hear from your driver?
Yeah, it just means a lot to us, you know. I think just the work that we've been putting in it's showing that we're going in the right direction, you know. And I think Lane's just got a lot of confidence coming from Milwaukee. And I think if we can learn how to qualify, we'll be pretty lethal. So we're just having a lot of fun. Lane's doing a really good job, and see if we can close it out here.
Adam, he told me earlier he wanted to continue playing spoiler here in this playoff, and he's showing it here tonight.
I mean, I guess you could say it's surprising, but he was top 5 at both Richmond and IRP to end the regular season. We get to the playoffs, he wins at Milwaukee, and he's in position again. Man, Lane Riggs has been impressive.
Made a great statement in North Wilkesboro back All-Star weekend. Really solid run right up front all night long, all day long, and just a good solid finish.
Yeah, and we don't talk about Milwaukee as a short track, but it races as a short track. All the teams think it races like a short track.
But what about having to go earn it right here? I mean, we're ticking down, and he's got Corey Heim, one of the most dominant drivers of the year, right on his inside, and Eckes, Raja right behind him. He's got to execute perfectly.
Going to be 13 laps to go. Front row, Lane Riggs, Corey Heim, Eckes and Caruth behind him. We're green again at Bristol. Raja Caruth out of line, 3 wide into 1. Riggs gets away topside.
Corey Heim gave him some room on the bottom. Now he's going to try to fight him off from the high side.
Wow, what a start by Lane, though. I think it was an advantage they went 3 wide and gave him that outside, and he really got the gas down and took off.
And that's where he's been so good today, is on the outside.
Oh, contact into the corner. Raja, nice job hanging onto that number 71 truck.
The gloves are off. Such a good night for Raja Caruth. Been in the top 5, top 3 throughout the evening. Won his first stage. That's in his career in stage 1 tonight. 10 laps remaining at Bristol. Lane Riggs out front.
See Majeski down on the bottom trying to get around Sawalich, going after Stuart Friesen. Majeski is as high as he's been this entire race.
Isn't it fun to think that in about 2.5 minutes it'll all be over? That's how much action we're going to squeeze into these 9 laps.
Quick check of the leaderboard. Still not a ton of separation at the cut line for a handful of drivers. Every position is a point.
Outside of the top 15 is Enfinger trying to get around Jake Garcia. Jake with the scrub into the outside wall. See how this goes down. Oh, way loose on the entry. Nice save-ish. Kept it heading in the right direction.
Racing Corey Day now. Corey making his Truck Series debut.
Corey Heim gets around, pulls off Raja. You can see, opens up the door for Christian.
Lane Riggs is checking all the boxes. Good on the long haul, managing the restarts. He'll be 5 laps away from his second career win. 5 to go.
I think this is the potential, obviously, that Bob Jenkins and Front Row Motorsports saw in him, and we thought so as well. Just the few limited starts that he had in the Truck Series, he always ran extremely well.
Very talented young short track racer. Made his way to the big leagues of NASCAR, and he's proven his worth. Loves Travel Center. That's just a beautiful truck. Bright, shiny truck here underneath the lights in Bristol. Pretty cool to see.
3 remaining for Riggs, and now he just says, keep a screen, don't throw that caution.
He's putting it on them now. Great lap times. 15:97, under 16 seconds on those old tires. That's a good handling truck.
Saved his best for last, didn't he? 2 to go.
They can't watch. They don't want to watch.
The stress of trying to win at the last great Coliseum. White flag is out for Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs is on an absolute heater. He goes back to back and wins it at Bristol. Heim wins the stage, comes home second. Carruth wins the stage, he was third.
And Heim barely beat Carruth at the line.
Eckes fourth, Sanchez fifth. And with their performance tonight and their advantage coming in, it means good things for their playoff future, talking about Heim and Eckes.
Look at that battle for second. Raja had it right to the very end. And Corey Heim uses the momentum from the high side to grab it.
Just remember that 1 point as we race through this next round.
Heim, with his performance tonight, has done enough to lock up a spot on points in the round of 8. Trying to get back to the championship 4 for a second consecutive season. And Christian Eckes has also done enough tonight to move on to the round of 8.
They're going to have a great week here waiting for Kansas.
They're happy to move on, but they wanted the trophy, and tonight they're not going to get it. Once again, it goes to Lane Riggs, who turns it on late and wins at Bristol.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway here on a Thursday night where it is this guy that goes back to back and tapping your shoulder in a celebration that went viral. And Lane, you told me ahead of this race that you wanted to be a playoff spoiler, and you were doing just that. What do you attribute this breakout for you to?
Oh my gosh, we have just learned so much with the cars and trucks, and my team, Dylan, my crew chief, he's badass. He works so hard at night, and you know, we as a team, we're a young team. I think the oldest guy on the team is the average age is like in the 20s, so it's so amazing. It's just to be running 5th, 10th, and all of a sudden go back to back in the playoffs. Man, I wish I was in the playoffs so bad. I think we'd be a real threat to win this championship.
I am so not surprised that you just thanked your team there, and I know that they can hear this over the speakers, but I talked to your crew chief, and he talked about the belief that they have in you. What does their conviction do to you for a driver?
I'm a bad mug. That's what they said over the radio. I wasn't scared to throw it against the fence tonight, and man, the track was so fun. I'm so glad they didn't put the PJ1 on the track. So much fun. I mean, even at the very end, you could run the bottom or the top and make equal lap time. So I know this Cup race is on Saturday night. It's going to be really awesome. Hopefully everybody tunes in. But man, just what a shout out to Loves for being on the truck. You can't miss the big yellow truck. Infinity Communications, Jeff, 2 in a row, buddy. Wish you were here, man. Man, everybody's helped me so much to get here. And Jay Schultz for getting me in this truck. Best agent there ever is.
Well, it may be more of a muted celebration this week on purpose, but we know that passion is radiating out of that guy, Mamba.